The one thing you need to know about making a good portfolio for game development, that is focus. You have to understand this. I see lots of people making a portfolio which having lots of stuff. Why is that? You have to find your specialization. Choose your specialization carefully. Find your interest, because in game development there are so many fields, so many departments: game artist, game development, game level designer, game programmer, character artist, environment artist, so many things, and you cannot do everything. Just choose your specialization and work on that. If you're a character artist, make a good character and put them in your portfolio. And whatever you have in your portfolio, just deconstruct it. Deconstructed means just show them the full process of creation, step by step. So just find your discipline, choose your specialization and work on it, focus on it. Let's talk about Transpose Master tool in ZBrush. So here, if I want to tilt or give a specific pose to my character, so here you can see my head has other subtool also, like teeth and eyes. So if I merge them into one subtool, so we have this Transpose Master tool. So go to Z plugin and use this Transpose Master. Here we have two other options, T-pose mesh and T-pose subtract. So by using T-pose mesh, we will take all my subtools and merge them together into one subtool. Here you can see easily. Now we can easily move and give a specific pose to my character, like if I mask my head and inverse my mask, and now I'm just using Gizmo to give a specific pose. Now here you can see I have set my pose. Now I'm go back to my Z plugin and Transpose Master. Now I'm going to T-pose subtract. It will get all my subtools back on my this. Now let's take a look on use of alpha and replay your last stroke in ZBrush. So I'm going to make a iris and cornea. Let's take a standard brush and change this to drag rectangle stroke and change alpha to alpha 6. Now let's click and drag. So I'm drawing a cornea of eyeball. Now I just replay my last stroke, and you can get this stroke option in stroke menu here. Now I'm not going to move this ball, so I just duplicate it and make sure my solo option is turned on. Now turn on Z sharp, so it will subtract the mesh. So now I'm replay my last stroke again. Now you can see I'm going to create this concavity of iris that is inside the sphere of eye. So with the same stroke, I use and create convexity of cornea ball. Now we have two subtool of my eye. One is cornea and concave part of iris. So basically you can replay strokes between subtools and different model here. Now let's talk about how to set hotkey to your ZBrush tools. So you can set any hotkey as you like. So let's take an example. I'm going to set my hotkey for my clay brush. Go to brush and press Ctrl Alt and click on that clay brush. Now don't move your mouse. Here ZBrush is asking me to set my hotkey. I'm setting key 7 for my clay brush. So just press 7. Now it is asking me to assign, so just press OK. Now number 7 hotkey is assigned to clay brush. As I press 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, my brush selection will change because I have assigned those hotkey to my brushes. So to save this hotkey, go to preference and hotkey and just click store. So it store our hotkeys. That means every time ZBrush start, it starts up with our saved hotkey. So this is very important. Now create our mesh blockout in ZBrush. So first let's start with hairline. I'm using RGB brush to draw my hairline, and for that I just turn off ZZ and turn on RGB, and I'm selecting my black color. Now I'm going to paint like a paint brush on my model. Here you can see female hairline has a curves. It has very smooth finishing, and whereas other side male has sharp edges. So now let's talk about curved tube brush. So it is very useful to create clumps. So go for press B and B for brush. Here you have a curved tube. Now make sure you don't have any subdivision in your mesh. Just draw the curve. You can see I can change the size of this tube by just decreasing your brush size. So you can move anywhere and adjust it accordingly. Now here in stock menu, there are so many options related to curves, like curve function, curve modifier and all. So by using this you can modify your tube curve accordingly. So here you can see there is an option called lock starting. So with the help of this you can lock your starting point. So here you can see my starting pin point is locked, and now I am moving my tube anywhere but starting point is fixed. Now there are so many other options. Here we have a curve modifier. So if I want to change the size of a tube in a specific manner or an increasing or decreasing manner, so you can adjust by this fall off curve. You can see I am adjusting this curve from high to low. So now I'm clicking on size. If I click, now I'm click on tube. Now you can see I have created this specific shape of my tube by using curve modifier. There are so many options, you can also check out by your own. Now moving on, let's take a look on a hair braid creation in ZBrush. I'm going to create this hair braid by using ZSphere. I have created a separate video on ZSphere only. You can check out and learn how to handle with ZSphere. This is very important and useful tool to create any blockout in ZBrush. Now for now, just mind these basic hotkey for ZSphere. Q to draw a ZSphere, W to move, E for scale, R for rotate. Now I'm going to in a front view and arranging these sphere in such a way that I'm creating a straight line like this. So I'm going to draw some extra sphere in between. Now I am moving these two sphere in either sides like this. So I'm going to do this to make a 3D spiral kind of structure. Now go to the top view and it's look like a diamond shape like this, or like a infinity symbols you can see here. Now on the top view, just add more Z-sphere on the edges to make a smooth curve. You can easily preview your blockout mesh by just pressing A. It is very important to know how your mesh going. Now you can check your mesh by pressing A. Just press A key and you can preview your mesh. So when your preview mesh is good, then go to adaptive skin option and make adaptive skin. Now we have a separate subtool for my preview mesh. Now you can work on this adaptive skin mesh. Now you can work on this editable mesh. So now just duplicate and move up over here and connect these kind of spiral kind of structure. Now again just duplicate multiple times. Now go to subtools and merge them all. Now I'm going to press Dynamesh. Now go to remesh to give a good topology. Now go to deformation and polish these edges to give a specific smooth curves. Now again duplicate these kind of spirals and move a little bit up. So I'm going to duplicate this 3 times and set these in a equal space. Now just scale and give some inflate deformation to connect to each other. So now you can see with us scaling and adjusting this width of braid, my hair braid is ready. Now go to my original model and append this hair braid on my model. So this is very useful. Now let's talk about how to customize your interface in ZBrush. Let's go to preference, config and enable customize. You can see we have an empty space on my screen. Now let's see if I want to move replay last button on my screen. So just press Ctrl, Alt and click and drag over here. You can see I got a button on my interface for replay last. So let's try once again for a lazy mouse button. Again Ctrl, Alt and click drag over here. Now you can see I have a lazy mouse button also. So let's say if I don't want this button anymore, so just press Ctrl, Alt and click drag on my screen. So it will remove it. So these buttons are just a clone. The main button are still in the main menu. So when you're done with this customization, then go back to preference and turn off enable customize and again click store config. So this is very important. It will save your customization settings and you will get your